Hey everybody, it's Monique and Megan here again from our Friday Bites. Actually Friday Smoochie Bites, right? So I wanted to actually have a little discussion today about some tips and just some further to our discussion on Tuesday about some other worm infestations and also why it's necessary to use a good groomer and not just go about the 10 or 20 rand you're going to save, because there could be some consequences with that. But let us start off by talking about some more worms.
Yes.
Megs, what are those? And it's not just worms, it's actually, what are those kind of diseases? Let's talk ringworm and others. What are those others that can also infect other dogs on quickly and then also for humans potentially?
Yes. So you mentioned the ringworm first. The ringworm, as much as, obviously it's called ringworm, but it's not actually a worm. It's actually a fungus that develops on your dog's skin, and people can get it too. Often you've heard about children getting it. Unfortunately, it is extremely contagious. It's transferred via spores. So what happens is, especially in a grooming van, if you're busy drying a pet and you go over that section that has the ringworm, all of those spores go up into the air and your entire van is basically filled now with a very contagious kind of skin issue. Again, like you mentioned, that's why it's important to make sure that the groomer that you're using disinfect their van, kind of on a weekly basis with a fumigator, and to get into all those parts that you wouldn't be able to reach otherwise.
That's also called a good old fogger.
Fogger, yes. And obviously making sure that your groomers are disinfecting all of their equipment, kind of in between dogs. Even if the dogs live in the same household, you have to sterilize that equipment in between, any of the pets. And that really is just to ensure their safety. We are working with a lot of animals every day. A couple of the other diseases that are, extremely contagious is obviously good old kennel cough. Most pet owners have heard about it, and it's basically just an infection of the trachea and kind of chest area. Is also highly contagious, and actually there's some kennel coughs as well that are contagious to people. So yeah, you have to be very careful with that sort of thing. Obviously parvo as well. If you have dogs that haven't been vaccinated in the van, it's even more important, to make sure that everything is disinfected and cleaned regularly and kind of all the time, to make sure that the pets that are in the van are safe.
Yes, and also to make sure that your vaccinations are up to date, right?
Absolutely.
Because it's important to have your rabies and your other vaccinations right up to date to prevent your pets from getting it. But from a grooming perspective, we are 100% committed to clean our vans with in between dogs. We've stressed to our teams how important it is, and they actually, sometimes to my annoyance, they go through F10 like it's water, but I prefer that rather than not having a clean van.
And it could, it could not even be a disease, it could just be something as simple as an eye infection. If they don't clean the equipment that they're using, they are then transferring, an infection from one dog to the cat to the next person's dog. And it's just, it really does become a mess.
And it's a big vet bill if you have to go to the vet to go and get it sorted out.
Exactly.
So the other thing I wanted to talk about is things you don't have to go to the vet for to sort it out. So when I was younger, I had a terribly moody cat, but he needed the vet quite a few times, and I'd put him in the car and he would be like spraying all over the car. In those years I didn't have time to neuter him, so I'm sorry to say he was an unneutered cat, intact male cat. So he weed all over my car, and the smell was just unbearable. So I tried everything and it wouldn't work. So the best thing to use for a smell like that is soda water, would you believe? You just pour loads of soda water on it and let it stand, and lo and behold, the smell will be gone. Because a lot of people have also asked us how to get the smell from, dogs out the house. Soda water works, and then another thing that works really well is vinegar and bicarbonate of soda. So those are our kind of home remedies. If you have any strange smells in your house, put a bit of vinegar and bicarb in a spray bottle and spray it. Just be careful not to close the spray bottle before you've actually let the fizz out, because otherwise you're creating a bomb. So you don't want to create another bomb. But anyway, that's our little bites for today. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye now.